See 'em? Well, open your damn eyes in. It's the old-timey country down-home red state update podcast of them. Coming to you from a bunker underneath Jackie's Market in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And here they are, both of them.
Hey, everybody, this is Jackie Bros.
Hey, Jackie, it's Dunlap.
I know who you are.
Hey, I wanted to say it's good to see you again.
Yeah, well,
Thanks for meeting me back here at the old podcast place.
well, that's what we do at least once a week, don't we?
I just want to say, it's dangerous times out there, and we ain't got nothing but each other. So I just wanted to say, put her there, friend.
I ain't gonna, no.
Known you a long time, and
No, just get on.
and
Just
every
do your
every
talking and
day
don't-
it gets a little bit worse. Would you not agree with that?
That I agree with, but it's going to get worse if you try to grab me or hug on me or touch me, any of that. It's bad enough as it is. I don't need that on top of it. So just, you stay on that side over there and I stay here.
I would argue that shutting people out is the opposite of what we
I
should
ain't
be.
shutting you out. I just don't want you all over me.
You
There's a
need-
difference. I'm sitting there listening to you, talking to you, and trust me, that's bad enough. But I don't want my physical, what do you call it? You get in my, space, safe, what is it? I don't know how to say any of it. My safe face. You don't get in my safe face areas.
Would you like a massage?
No, I don't want one. Not from you.
You seem uptight.
I am up because you're threatening to, reach over and you're putting your hands close to me. You're trying to grab on me. and
All
stuff.
I'm saying is that first of all, you got to take care of yourself
I am.
first
That's
before
what-
you can take care of anybody else.
What did I say about my safe face?
So you're getting on here, going to go through a whole list of ways Trump has fucked us,
well,
the United States of
say it that
America,
way.
all week long. And you can't let anybody in to help you shoulder that trauma.
don't want you touching my shoulder. I don't want you touching any parts of me. We're talking, ain't we? Ain't that enough for you? You don't go down the street grabbing and hugging on people, do you? You hope not.
It's different times.
Well, it is.
How about a handshake?
I don't even need
Just
that.
to get started.
I don't need a handshake.
How
to
about a
get
high
started.
five?
All right, here. And ow.
It hurt me.
Hurt me, bent my hand back. You don't know even how to do it right.
I wasn't really looking at my microphone.
That's something we don't do. That's the reason we don't know how to do it.
No, I don't like it. I didn't like it.
People who do it all the time know how to do it right. I don't ever do that to nobody.
I
You just
don't
hold
either.
I didn't think it was that hard. I thought you just hold your damn hand up and the other person does the same in the same direction. But they don't.
I do it when I'm trying to impress like jocks or teenagers. Like,
Right.
hey, I'm cool. High five.
There ain't no teenager that wants to high five you. They don't exist.
I thought that it might help us to loosen up if we
No.
sort of let down some of our barriers.
I guess I'm loose.
I was wrong.
I'm loosed up just from telling you not to get near me, get on me.
I'm more uptight from that brief brush of hands.
There's my face, safe face, and my areas.
Well, this is a good start to the podcast, I think. Now let's talk about how a show of buffoonery at the White House today is hilarious. Gorka getting in a fight, a bunch of crazy people being puffed up by a crazy president. But in reality, I think it really does a lot to undermine the freedom of the press and free speech, which was technically what he was there to
Supposed to, yeah.
in support.
Now, you saying it's funny, which we talk about this all the time, what's funny and what's not funny. There's a lot of stuff that's funny, but you can't laugh at it because there's children in cages and, we can't, it's difficult to make light of something when everything's so damn awful. But this is a situation when you and I think it's funny that Gorka's screaming it. There's plenty of people that like Gorka that thinks it's funny too. They love this. They love a bunch of crazy people screaming at each other in the White House. Nothing makes them happy, which it is. Even without all these internet or computer crazy people, it is that already. So you're just adding to it. It's like fuel to the damn fire.
It really looked like the Joker had installed all his crazy supervillain Arkham Asylum buddies as the press corps and they were doing like a mock press thing, like in a Batman animated series sort of way. If you look at those clips of the press thing today, it looks like a cartoon, but a scary cartoon full of Nazis and white supremacists.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, crazy as hell. You try to tell me this all the time. Every time you start talking about Q people, Cunin, whatever it is, I'm like, what? Like, what? How does somebody even come up with that? Is there one crazy person that tells all the crazy people, or all the crazy people get together and add on to the story and make it bigger, bigger? I don't know.
When the Jeffrey Epstein stuff come out, and all the Q people were like, here we go. This is it. It's breaking. And that guy's the terrible person, the worst person, the back Cernovich.
Who?
Terrible. People were like, see, he was right, but he was not. It's really weird how the Q people look for all these conspiracies to prove that. And yes, this Jeffrey Epstein, that should be. And if Bill Clinton was on that boat or island or plane, get them all.
All of them. I don't give a damn.
Get them all. Yeah. But they were saying, oh, here it comes. We got him. Trump did it. Undercover Trump, who's been rounding them up, and now Hillary Clinton's going to go to jail for being a pedophile.
That's what's crazy. Now, these are the same people that said that she was running with a child sex ring underneath pizza place.
It's the same people. I mean, we could probably quibble about, well, they're not all, but they're the same.
It's the same crazy computer people. Yeah,
the same people.
And the people actually believe that, which turned out there wasn't no basement. And I mean, there's a lot of things to dislike about Hillary Clinton, but I don't think she's running a sex. What is it? Child sex
ring? You know what? If she is, she should definitely be locked up.
She should
definitely be locked up.
She should, and let the law handle it. Don't show up any place.
But she's not.
Of course, she's not. But here's the situation now, which I'll be quite honest with you. This guy's been in the news here and there, off and on. People bring up his connection to Trump. But Trump's connected to a lot of, I can't keep up with how many awful people the man is connected to. It's a lot. And I ain't even talking just the Republican Party. I'm talking just crazy, bad people. I ain't talking just Russia. It just gets on and on.
How many people, crazy awful people is he connected to? How many crazy, awful things has he been accused of? How many crazy, awful things do we know that he's done?
Yeah.
Why do we have to look for conspiracies
there's
about
no
the Clintons? Why do we have to make Donald Trump the mysterious hero?
No.
When you're looking, if you're really worried about kids, they're on the fucking border. It's not a conspiracy.
It's not. We're watching that. There. We see it every day on the news. You see horrible pictures, whatnot. If you gave a damn about children,
it's right there already. Yeah, you can go after Jeffrey Epstein also, please. Although I will say it's not QAnon that got him. It's that reporter from Miami
Herald.
Yeah. There's 2 or 3 reporters who I think are all women.
Real reporters, yeah.
Real reporters who did this, not crazy people in the basement who hate women, but for some reason are really upset at you can do what you want to women or to kids, but you can't do things to these imaginary kids.
No.
But the Jeffrey Epstein stuff, that's all real. So go get him.
I won't make a point. I'm not looking forward to talk about this Epstein stuff. Like I said, I avoided it for so long. But then when it actually became, it was news back in the day, but I didn't really understand any of it. And Bill Clinton did this, and as soon as you bring up child sex ring, I think Hillary Clinton pizza parlor. But this is real. This man really did sex traffic children and do horrible, horrible things.
Yes.
And a man who's now the Secretary of Labor evidently gave him a slap on the wrist. He could be in jail right now. And I want to say this right now. There ain't one single, this is the reason I no longer consider myself a Republican. Not one Republican came out and said, maybe he needs to go. Not a one.
They had a big press conference for him to, where people could have
cleared
come
up.
out.
Yeah. He cleared it up real well, didn't he?
I guess he was either supposed to, and when you have a press conference and you're in trouble and you work for the Trump administration, you're either supposed to clear it up or double it down.
Yeah.
And he didn't do either good enough.
He didn't do, no. I still think he's going to be gone. Somebody said this. I saw this on the computer. Somebody was saying, like, well, from what I hear my White House sources are, he's watching every channel, and every bad thing that's said about Acosta, everything it says bad about Acosta means it's closer to heading out the door. And I'm sitting there, if that's the truth, why hadn't he fired himself? Because I don't know nothing. Of course, you leave it on Fox News other than that. But even on Fox News, there's sections of the day where they say he's a damn idiot.
He's been mad at Fox News lately.
I know, he's throwing a fit over
even
him.
The actual Fox News that he watches.
I know.
The terrible one.
He don't like none of it.
Now, we are talking about Acosta. That's not the CNN reporter, right? He is not involved.
He didn't. As far as we know, he's never had anything.
As far as we know, he's never
done anything with Epstein or anything like that.
What was it? Come out, Trump used to be big buddies with Epstein.
Well, they had a party is what they said.
That's how you get him. Become friends with him in 1992 and party with him and 28 underage girls.
Undercover.
Yep. Now it's all coming out. Long game. It's the long game. Listen, if you are a child sex trafficker, it may take him 30 or 40 years.
But he'll get you.
He's got to get elected president. Now, a lot of people, people said that was crazy. I'm one of them. And he did that. So who knows?
I don't know.
I will say that all that Seth Rich stuff that factors into this, that turned out to be 100% bullshit, which we knew.
At the time, most people knew that stuff. Yeah, that's in the Mueller, but that was Russia and Fox working together.
Listen, Russia and Fox working together, that this poor guy's family has to keep suing Fox News.
I hope they eventually win. I mean, and Fox has taken this back, but they still like slippery, slimy way. They said, no, it wasn't right, but we have First Amendment rights where we can say things that are not true. Are not true. So slippery, we're okay, even though they admitted that all this was a bunch of bull. Now, why is Cunan's people, got to look up conspiracy? There's one right there. Fox and Russia made up a damn story to cover up for Russia stealing Hillary stuff. Well, here's this poor guy got killed. Help us out with this, Fox. Sure thing, Russia. That's right there in front of your face. Why do you got to make stuff up? It's right there.
Listen, the conservative press, the crazy conservative, all of it, really, talked about Hillary Clinton like she was John Wick. Like some thug that John Wick is beating up going, oh, you're John Wick. Like Baba Yaga. Like she's killing people. She's running child sex rings. How did she have time to be a terrible candidate? She seemed booked up. That's why she didn't go to Wisconsin.
And her brain was failing at the same time on top of all this.
She's sick as hell.
She's sick as hell. She's going to die in a minute.
Angela Merkel makes her look like damn Slim Goodbody. I don't know. Listen, Hillary Clinton, was she really a terrible candidate? I mean, somebody explained the past 2 years to me, 3 years.
She was a terrible candidate as far as I'm concerned. It's still like 100% better than what we wound up with.
She's kind of right about everything, except how to win. Hey, but let's not kick her while she's on her way to prison, probably.
Yeah, right, yeah.
It is funny Twitter's the most confusing. It's like, Gorka's great. Gorka, some of these are bots, I'm sure. Some of these people cheering on Sebastian fucking Gorka cannot be real people. I will happily agree to that. Hopefully, they're not real people. The people that are excited when the Epstein stuff comes out because they think, oh, this means Trump is going to jail. And then the people who get excited on Twitter and QAnon, Reddit, wherever, because they think, oh, Trump is just saving us and the Clintons are going to jail. Like, you can be excited that people are going to jail and this is all busted up, but it just becomes political. And I'll admit, I was a little excited too. I'll just get rid of this. This will get him. It won't.
No, there ain't nothing. He's been got a million damn times. I mean, he hadn't been got, but I mean, he does stuff to get got every other day, and nobody gonna do a damn thing about it.
These are all pieces of why. Like, some people are just mean. Some people are racist. Some people hate women. A lot of people who like him really just hate women. Like, there's like, oh, don't be like, now that I have a daughter, I understand. Like, there's that group.
Yeah.
But then there's just a group of like, fuck them. Fuck you. Hey, Buttercup. Hope you like, the worst thing you can.
If that's what they talk about, we don't have to do it. I don't want to hear the language. But yeah, just a bunch of, some people just crazy. Just love watching him tear the country apart.
So he's got people who believe that he's actually trying to help the country. He's got people who think everything the Democrats say about him is bullshit. He's got people who don't listen to the news, so they only get like pieces here and there. Like the guy at the plant that's somehow still open is telling him that Trump's saving the country by standing up to Democrats, and he closed down that child sex ring. And I mean, all you need is little pieces of information to not get fed up. You don't even have to vote for him. You just have to not get fed up. I need the people real excited to vote for him to go out there and keep him in 2020.
Yeah. Wouldn't put it past him at this point. I don't know.
I mean, what are they going to shut down Obamacare? Is that happening? Like, that looks like the court is going to.
They better hope they don't do that. Yeah, don't look good for it. But they got nothing planned, anything. Remember old Grassley, woman kept asking, I'd be dead if it weren't for Obamacare. You trying to get rid of it? Oh, they ain't ever going to get rid of that. Just leave me alone. You're fine. It ain't going nowhere. Well, evidently the court hearings.
They keep taking little pieces of it like they.
Yep. Chipping away at it.
Like some of this stuff they may have done just for show, and now it's wound up where they may screw them.
Yeah.
Screw the Republicans, because if everybody gets kicked off his health care, what are they going to do? They ain't got a plan. They don't want to come up with a plan. And they want to leave it for somebody else.
There are about 4 different factions that going to have different plans in the Republican Party, and ain't going to be able to get nothing done. We know that already. It ain't going to happen. So they better hope it don't go. If you're going to go Supreme Court, people say Kennedy will probably save it again. That's what Republicans are telling people, because they're trying to cover up for it. All these people went out there, told the constituents over and over again, we ain't getting rid of pre-existing condition. No, y'all just calm down. Ain't none of that going to happen. It can literally happen overnight.
Courts are being pretty good to Trump. Dismiss the emoluments clause case against emoluments. Because
that's money, right?
Basically, they're saying, hey, he can't have his hotel here. People just come in. He lets people stay here. He's getting rich off these. That's how people pay him. How these foreign countries grift him. This is the founders, like 700 years ago when this country started. They're like, I'm not sure about slaves being people, and I'm not sure that we can't really just take all this Indian land. But the one thing I know is we don't want the president opening up a fucking hotel in Washington, D.C. so he can make a bunch of money from Saudi Arabia or wherever. But apparently it's still up for debate.
That's going to stay in the courts. That's different stuff. I don't think that's over and done with. It could be. Hell, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. How many of these judges does he appoint? And I know sometimes he goes up, but they always make it. When things don't go his way, they always got to mention it was an Obama-appointed judge. We know that plenty of time. This judge that gave him a hard time on this census stuff, which to me, what did it do today? He made executive order. Didn't seem like it made any sense. He basically said, I'm going to do something, but not put the question on the damn census because the Supreme Court told me I couldn't do it. And then everything was settled. Then I got on the computer and said different, and it just on and on and on. But that judge evidently was an Obama judge. But as far as whoever appointed him, just from what I've read about that, I don't care who appointed you. That's craziness right there. They tell you one thing, and the next day they say this, and you ask them, why'd you say that for? We'll get back to you, Judge. But you wait for them to get back to you, and then they come back and go, well, actually, we're not. Some other people are. He's like, what other people? Whoever. It ain't going to be us. People thinking they were planning something out, or they're going to put the real lawyers up. No, those lawyers trying to get the hell out of that. That's all they was doing. Get me out of here. I'm going to tell the judge one thing, and the president's going to go on the computer and say something next time. Get me the hell out of here.
So now he's just saying, hey, find out can you get me a list of illegal immigrants? Which I'm not, can they? I don't think that exists. Hope not.
Let's find out, yeah. Bill Barr going straight to that for him. I saw that today. I try not to watch the speeches, but I caught it on the corner of my eye on TV, and just the Bill Barr part where he just gets up there and kisses Trump's ass. Oh, it's just pitiful. It's like, it's like Sony Big Boy wearing glasses turning into a kiss ass, excuse my language.
Make you lose your appetite.
I know. I want to see Big Boy standing there with a smile on his face, holding a tray. Big Bird about to eat. Bill Barr's ruined that for me.
It ruined bagpipes for me.
I didn't like him much to begin with, I'll be honest, but
like, there's actual royalty in the world, and they can't have people be this kiss ass to them because people don't like it anymore, except for Trump.
And that's it.
And people really like it. I guess Trump people are like, did you see how Bill Barr kissed Trump's ass? We gotta go to Shoney's.
I like Breakfast Bar, and that's ruined it for me. I'm going to go back to Shoney's Bear in my head. Remember Shoney's Bear? He took over
He
for a
looks a
while.
little bit like Shoney's Bear.
Oh, no, he does. No, can't enjoy Shoney's.
So, yeah, I don't know what they're... Either this executive order was just to save face and put on a show after he finally lost the case in courts this week, or there's going to be a terrible list of people they're just going to round up. I guess it's raids happening Sunday.
Sunday's supposed to everybody knock on some doors. And this is for show, even though it destroys human beings' lives.
It's all a show.
It is a show for awful people to enjoy. It's a racist show for people to watch them. People get jerked out. People they don't like.
This is a Trump campaign event.
Yeah.
Like rounding people up. Like saying, you can't have, we want to ask, you telling me I can't ask illegal immigrants why the hell they're here on the census and make them answer it so I can come arrest them on the census? You say, Trump 2020.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, ICE raids are happening over the weekend, Trump 2020. And remember these camps. Remember when some of the first stuff come out and Trump come out and apologized?
We've come a long way. I'm terrified of this. It scares the hell out of me because I remember when it first got out, Jeff Sessions was he's the one that was running all, made sure, I know it was Department of Homeland Security, but Attorney General said we're going to separate these families. And when that first got out, was that 2 years ago, something like that, a year and a half ago? And the very next day or 2 days later, as soon as the press got a hold of that, the number, it was awful. I'm sorry. I know they don't need to be here, but good Lord, you cannot separate. You can't jerk little babies out of the mother's arms. Lord, God forbid, you cannot do that. We have to stop. And then, next day on, okay, I heard about this. You didn't hear about it. You wanted to prove it. And now I'm going to stop it. Again, him making a mess and then coming in like he's saving the day. But that was almost overnight, the outrage about that. And now children are laying there, giving them frozen food. They ain't thawed out. They're sitting in there in their dirty diapers, and nobody gives a damn.
They retaliate against them for speaking out. There's accusations of sexual abuse against some of the teenagers. They're dying. These kids are dying in these. Trump 2020. Hey, Jackie Bros, it's Donald Trump here.
What?
I'm sending you an email. I need your money. You heard all this stuff about the kids in the camps, right? Send me $5. That's the way it is. He had different people around him back in. He didn't have Stephen Miller saying, double down on this shit. People don't really care. Maybe Stephen Miller's right.
Evidently it was.
Because we ain't stormed them walls yet.
Fox News was outraged. They were like, we got a judge in the Patalo. I remember, this is bad. He's got to change this. Sure enough, he changed it right after he said it on Fox. But now look what's going on. Nobody saying anything. Of course, they went out on Fox to say it's summer camp and everything else like that.
The Democrats could run an ad that is kids crying, getting ripped out of the arms of their parents, terrible, just the worst images that we've already seen, horrifying things that we debated about even showing, and we could say, we've got to do something, and whoever, Democrats 2020, and then Trump could show the same ad,
yep,
and then at the end say, good, Trump 2020, and he'd do just as good as the Democrats would. What the fuck?
Hey, but yeah. There's polls come out, 68% of evangelicals say it ain't our responsibility to help nobody from another country. Ain't my responsibility. I go to church, pray to God 3 times a day, go to church on Sunday, and it ain't my problem that all those kids are locked up in there. It's their fault for coming over here.
Well, some of the evangelicals, there was that article in Atlantic, I think, where they were talking about how the evangelicals have really gone over for Trump. And what do you want them to do? I don't like how, if your basis for liking Trump is the only way he could get elected is because God wants him there. Like, he's such a terrible person, such an unelectable fucking cretin, just the worst of America. There's no way he could ever become president except by some miracle, some like force majeure, like some damn Deus Ex Machina. What are all the God things?
Hell, I don't know.
Where God just says, it's got to be this way. Don't ask me to explain it. Like the damn Jesus on toast and Trump in the White House is about the same damn thing. Like, if the only way you can explain it is God put him there, then at that point they're like, well, I'm just riding along with this. I guess I have to be racist now. Which is convenient because I was already pretty racist.
Yeah. God willed him to be in the White House, so God must have willed to torture children. Must be God's will.
I mean, God makes earthquakes and murder. Tsunamis, hurricanes.
Another way to kill people. Why not?
Trump's just another way to kill people. Yeah. For God needs to kill people. This is in the Bible. It goes way back.
Yeah. Speaking of the Bible, who's a woman that wants to put him in the Bible?
That is
rich man.
Sheldon Adelson's wife, Miriam. Yeah. Dr. Miriam Adelson
wants a book of Trump.
I guess she's a doctor of offensive bullshit because she wants to put a book of Trump.
Now, if you took that, I mean, that's a crazy woman saying something in a newspaper that she owns, and she's allowed to say it in there. But if you put that to all this 68% of evangelicals, how many of them are going to say, maybe you shouldn't do that?
None of them.
No. They were ready to change the Bible, do it up.
I want to see a Trump book. Where can I get a picture of Trump? I mean, I'm surprised they haven't started just pasting Trump's picture over Jesus and all the baptismal pools across the South.
Wait for it.
Like Jesus with the sheep, it'd be like Trump with a sheep.
He wouldn't get near that animal. He ain't going to do that.
He wouldn't even live in the Bible times. It's too dirty for him.
He wouldn't.
Too dirty. I guess that's why he can't believe that the environment is getting much worse under him, which doesn't make sense. I guess he just thinks I'm going to sell it all off for these companies, but they'll do good. Because he give that press conference, the water's so clean. No, it's just so clean. The skies, the air, the animals are fatter. In a healthy way, plump the way you'd like to see a baby. The water, so I could, if I knew what a stream was, or how to get to one, or how to drink out of it, and I never would in a million years, I'd love to take a sip out of this cool, clean, pure spring water.
Even though we got rid of all the regulations that lets them dump whatever the hell they want into them, clear as can be. Still, nothing you can do. Touch it.
These fish are just so healthy and clean and pure and see-through and frolicking and plump. See, so Trump's going to be in the Bible, apparently, because it's rich people. They can just do whatever they want.
They can make their own Bible.
They can make their own Bible.
That's right.
I'll print that shit up.
She made her own newspaper to say this crazy, excuse my language, shit in. She can do it, write her own Bible.
I mean, just do it. Can't you do a Bible on Twitter? Can you do a Twitter Bible?
That's Marco Rubio. He does Twitter Bible. If you go on his Twitter, he got that covered.
Well, I'm sure the Book of Trump is coming up for him. And then maybe every once in a while he'll interrupt the Book of Trump to go, I'm not so sure about the Book of Trump saying this, but let's just wait it out.
I'm going to repeat it anyway.
Yeah, and then he'll repeat it anyway. And then like 2 tweets later be like, I was wrong. That was great. So 4th of July fallout, just to update on this. We talked about this a little bit. The city of Washington, D.C., the mayor of Washington, D.C. said that Trump bankrupted the fund they used to fight terrorism with his show of force and safety.
And he ain't paid him.
He ain't paid him for the damn inauguration.
Yeah, still waiting on that. Well, guess what? You're going to be waiting for a while, Mayor of D.C.
Trump has run out on checks his entire life. What?
There's tons. I mean, how many people, when he was running for damn president, came out and said, I built this, I contracted this. You go down the list, and I ain't seen a dime for it.
Look, if you are racist, white, male, working some job in the Midwest, construction worker, you know what it's like to get stiffed on a damn check, not to get paid. Like, why? Seems like that would have stopped him. Like, maybe all the other stuff, sure. But he didn't pay the guy who built the damn deck. Like, that didn't make people mad.
Well, people, you trust me, you're all getting what you want because he's ripping every one of you off in one way or another. That's what the president's doing right now, and he's going to continue to do it as long as you leave him in the White House.
He's ruined a lot of things for me. He ruined the damn... I used to love it when people fought for England. Fought with England. Not fought for England.
Not for them, against them.
Against them.
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Jerry Lee Lewis. England can kiss my ass. Great.
Yeah.
All I remember about that movie. And I guess that's also about pedophilia, really. That's what England was mad about.
That's
he married his underage cousin, Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
We got a lot. There's a lot to unlearn.
Well, all this man did was tell the damn truth.
All right, the ambassador.
All he did was say he's an insecure dumbass. Excuse my language. That's basically what he said. That's his job. How people ask you. You're the ambassador. You're the one. You're the connector between the two. How is it dealing with this? How do you go about this? Well, hell, I don't know. He's a complete and utter dumbass. Excuse my language. But that's what he said. He's just doing his damn job.
Well, hang in there, old chap, and report back. And it's the same thing. Well, it's still a dumbass.
Somebody didn't like this fella is what happened because he got leaked out.
They got a bunch of fucking bullshit going over
there.
I
know.
They're crazy Trump-ass Boris Johnson and damn. So Trump gets on there and criticizes Theresa May and the way they handled Brexit. Then they got crazy racists over there ready to and they all love Trump. Even though I think most people in England hate Trump. But if you're a racist, no matter what country you're in.
Doesn't matter what, yeah.
And Trump's like, yeah, he's good. You're like, okay, well, Trump's a dumbass, but he is a good racist.
Yeah.
So, okay, you got the thumbs up from Trump in America, so we can continue to build our coalition of fascist, racist countries. Let's keep working. Keep working, fellas.
Yeah, the guy that said this, I think, was a Trump supporter, likes Trump. From what I understand, this ambassador had nothing but good stuff to say about him. This wasn't supposed to get out to the public. This was something somebody got a hold of and put out there. So that's somebody trying to get rid of him, which they did a good job.
Yeah, they're all fighting over who's going to be the worst next.
He's gone. I bet there's a lot of diplomats saying, well, I hope my
They said that it could have been it. Hell, it's all of us. We all think he's a dumbass.
I know.
We're not idiots. Just we have this cushy diplomatic appointment doesn't mean I don't know what's what.
At one time, you tried to put qualified people in those positions. Other countries still may try to do it occasionally. So, I mean, what are you going to do? You can fire every one of them. He's still going to be a dumbass. It ain't human language. And none of that going to change.
No, it doesn't matter who you send.
Never going to change, yeah.
You send damn, who's Thomas? Who a famous diplomat? Thomas Jefferson, was he?
He was a diplomat. I sent him over there, yeah.
Benjamin Franklin, did he go somewhere or did he just stay around?
Probably.
Oh, that reminds me of the strip golf.
Well, that got canceled. You told me about that. They canceled the stripping.
He's
golf.
ruining strip golf for me. Charity strip golf, one of my favorite things.
What?
And they were going to have it at a Trump thing, and you can't do strip golf charity for kids. I mean, you can. I mean, I don't know really why they canceled it. They should have just fucking doubled down on it and had people fucking for kids on a damn golf course with a damn fucking Nazi strippers.
Hey, watch it.
I guess. I don't know.
Why did they cancel that? That don't make any sense.
Why do they do anything anymore?
Like that's going to hurt his reputation? Well, what? Like, we can't be affiliated with stripper golf. What?
No.
He ain't been having sex with porn stars, everything else. He had a party with 28 women with a known pedophile, and they're worried. We better cancel that. Let's hurry up. Our image is really going in the tank over this. Cancel this stripper golf immediately.
Stripper golf. Good.
20 women says he sexually harassed them. Some say rape and on and on and on.
He raped?
They raped. Yeah. Stripper golf. No, that's where we put our foot down. Stripper golf. That goes back to that damn Acosta, not Bob Acosta, who's the Secretary of Labor Acosta, that Costa, one that let the pedophile, slapped him on the wrist. Kept saying up there, and men, you have to come forward now, women, please. You got to come forward. We can't take care of these unless you come forward. And his boss, over 20-something women have come out, and he's done nothing but call them bimbos, stupid, liars, everything else. His boss does that. He's belittled every one of these women. That's all he, come forward. Why wouldn't you come forward? Look at the damn president, the most powerful man in the world. Woman brave enough to come forward against him, and does nothing. All that happens, they get death threats, get called the worst things, stupid, lying, on and on and on. Asking women to come forward. Hell to you, Costa.
Hey, same thing as asking women to come to the White House after they win the soccer.
Why would you go there? Anybody.
Like, even if you work there, why would you go there? I mean, unless you're like a crazy alt-right Twitter
enjoying this, like so many Americans
Twitter person who cheers on Gorka for yelling at a Playboy reporter.
Look at Gorka. How could anybody cheer on Gorka? I don't care how racist you are. There's nothing about that man you won't cheer on. The worst racist should know better than to cheer on Gorkas. Hell. Hey there, everybody. It's Jackie Bowles.
Folks, people, it's Dunlap. Welcome to the second part of the Red State Update podcast. Now, folks, you've endured the torment of daily life in these United States of America as recapped by Jackie Bowles and myself, Dunlap. You've gotten through that. Now we are in the clear.
Are we?
No, it's always there on the horizon. Unless you're actually, if you're lucky, on the horizon.
It's going to get worse. It's on.
Appreciate your privilege if it's just on the horizon. Yeah. Hell. But all this unfunny preaching, gloom and doom, don't come for free, folks. No, sirree. It takes money to keep the lights on so we can read the newspapers and cry.
Local sponsors, Murfreesboro sponsors. That's how we get the computer, microphones, and all this stuff. You got to get
the internet going so you can see how bad things are.
Well, that's not all what we do. We also have, what is it on the...
Sometimes I watch Netflix.
No, I'm talking about for us. We do what is it? Paddle. Somebody said I wasn't saying it right. Pagagons.
That's it.
Okay, we have...
That's where you go over and give us... all your money.
No, you give us whatever you want to give us, what you get. I wouldn't suggest anybody give all their money to anybody.
If you're listening to us and you've been giving us $5 and you got to go down to $1, I appreciate you giving us $1.
We're not complaining. We wouldn't dare do that. We appreciate all
you're giving us $1 and you go up to $5, God bless you, sir or ma'am.
Thank you kindly, yes. We appreciate that.
It ain't all sirs.
Huh?
There's plenty of ma'ams.
Oh, well, good. I won't, yeah.
So thank you, ma'am.
Inclusive, yeah.
Or sir.
Whoever wants. We are completely, utterly, openly inclusive to everybody. every sex, every race, every gender, whatever, we will take your money.
We're like major corporations.
Yeah.
Like Pride Week. Like we are as bad as a major corporation. We want your money, no matter who you are. Listen, if you like Trump and you listen to us every week just to get wound up and cuss and drive your car into a pole, we also will take you money.
Oh, yeah.
So bring it on. That's over at patreon.com/Red State Update. Give us what you can.
$5 or more, you get a whole extra new podcast, 20 extra minutes with both of us, Jackie and Dunlap.
That's every week.
Yeah, that's every week.
Me and Jackie talking for an extra 20 minutes. Sometimes it's about something. Someday we're going to get that Skip Stevenson record.
Yeah, hopefully.
And sometimes it ain't about nothing at all.
And it also goes to help Redneck Matinee, which is something we believe it or not, we actually work on. It just takes us a little while to get it out there. There should be some new ones coming up here for too long. Redneck Matinee is where Dunlap and myself enjoy great Southern cinemas, movies that meant a lot to us throughout our lives. We saw in the South, we still see in the South and watch. Talk about a lot of good ones on there. If you ain't listened to that, go on over to Redneck Matinee and listen to that a little bit. If you don't like this, maybe you like that. Got to be some reason to give us $1 for something.
Whatever happened to that podcast, 100 Ways to Love a Cat?
What is it?
100 Ways to Love a Cat?
We were affiliated with it somehow. I don't think I do it.
They're on Saccadical.
Oh, that's what it is. So that's coming back eventually down the road, right?
You remember somebody on the video for that 100 Ways to Love a Cat, which we are affiliated with, said, I can't believe this video got all these views from an old man in his underwear screaming about it. Remember that Angry Grandpa?
Oh, yeah.
Remember YouTube star Angry Grandpa?
He passed on, didn't he? I believe.
He did pass on.
Our condolences to Angry Grandpa, yeah.
We didn't see about that till it'd been a while, I think, since he passed away. But yeah, they did.
Age, yeah.
I wouldn't say it all came from Angry Grandpa. I think it was doing okay for plenty of people who don't know. Never heard of Angry Grandpa. I'd watch that video about the cats who we are affiliated with. I don't know why one YouTube comment going to get under my skin like that, but I didn't want to say rest in peace, Angry Grandpa.
Yeah.
And much appreciated.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe half. Might be half.
Might be half, yeah.
Might be half.
Appreciate yeah.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you kindly.
Thank you kindly. Not all. Probably about half. Maybe not even that, but a lot. A lot more than that dumb son of a bitch on YouTube who left that comment knows about. That's for one thing.
You can go ahead and cuss him as much as you want. He'll never listen to this.
No.
Well, we got to keep the lights on like we said, and that's why we do Murphy's Bro Sponsors. That's what I'm doing right now. And I tell you what, this is definitely a local sponsor because it's catered primarily to Murphy's Brillions. Is that how you say it? Murphy's Brillions?
Yep.
Murphy's Brillions. A lot of times we say if you're traveling, stop in, you're going to hear a good thing about a product or a place to eat or whatever. Listen to this if you're traveling through. But this is not for travelers or people from out of state. This is for Murphy's Brilliance because Murphy's Brilliance, I hear you. Loud and clear. I understand. You want things to stink. You want to walk outside and that smell get up in your nose. Gets in my mouth. Gets in my nose and my mouth. And just a little, just to get it. You can't really get adjusted because I was going to say you have to give a little almost throw up to adjust to it. But that happens repeatedly throughout the day for me. But I know you love it. You love for things to stink and smell like garbage, skunk, bathroom mess. 24 hours a day. Obviously. Well, I tell you what. Me and Gladdy got together to this is what they want. Let's put these Gladdy Pops away. This is not the answer to what the people want. This is, people demand a certain thing, and by God, we're going to give it to them. And also, we want to keep you, and we want to remind everybody in this town, because there were some slanderous things said about the company Gladdy, and myself for that matter as well, last week is simply not true. Now, I don't go to church as much as I should. I'll be the first one to admit it, but I think people should go to church, and you ought to get yourself in church, and you need to turn yourself over to Jesus. You need to give your heart to Jesus. Everybody needs to do that at some point in your life. You should, I think, personally. And I think a lot of you Murfreesborians agree with me. Most of you already got Jesus in your heart, and the people that are on the fence about it will tell you what, go on and take that plunge. Get on to church, because, listen, if you want things to stink, you are never going to smell anything as bad in a lot of these local churches here in Murfreesboro, because a lot of them, in conjunction with Gladdy, at my suggestion, you don't need to, used to be in the day here in Murfreesboro, they say, you come in for services. I'm glad that you're here. I want to welcome you to our congregation, but you're going to have to leave that skunk sickle outside. You're going to have to leave it out there because the thing stinks, and that didn't work out so well for some of these local churches. Some people say, well, I'm going to sit out in the parking lot and eat my skunk sickle. God wants me to eat this skunk sickle. That's what God likes me to eat delicious things. That's what he wants me to have, no matter how bad it smells. Well, I understand you. We understand you. So come on into church now, because I tell you what, Gladdy's got something for you just as good as any skunk sickle, and I guarantee you it smells almost twice as bad. Pew sickles. Gladdy, in conjunction with a lot of the local Baptist churches here in Murfreesboro, there's at least a couple of Lutheran churches, I think, as well, and one Methodist. One Methodist, couple Lutheran, pretty much all the Baptist churches. Pew sickles by Gladdy. Get in there. Your eyes will be running while you're trying to sing with a choir, but it stinks in there. Just think about it. The preacher, his sermons may be just a little bit shorter so he can get the hell out of there and get some fresher breath air, because I'm telling you, these churches smell bad. About as bad as they can smell. And I hear that these pew sickles taste delicious, though. So, enjoy you. Come on in and get you a little Jesus, open up your heart, get a little good book in you, and just smell how horrible it is. Because Murfreesboro, you love things that stink. We'll tell you what, every church in Murfreesboro going to stink just bad on the inside as it stinks on the outside all over town. So pew sickles, Gladdy, get down there, save your soul, get you some Jesus, and get some stink up your damn noses, because that's what you want. That's what you get. Gladdy delivers. In conjunction with Baptist churches and one Methodist and a couple of Lutherans.
So you're saying that's Gladdy Scoball you talking about?
Gladdy is the name of the company. He, not one person that does it all. He may come up with ideas, but
he knows how to do them scents, them smells.
Well, yeah.
And he got together with you, because last week I was talking about how
I suggested it. I ain't getting no cut of the reel here. I wouldn't sponsor myself. It's still a different. He asked me what you should do, and I said, well, hell, if everybody wants to stink, why not? And they're calling you a heathen, and they're calling you a sinner, then prove that you're not. Get to church and bring a stink in there. So it was just a suggestion. Now, I ain't asking for a cut of that money. I don't want anything. I ain't going to take money from a church first and foremost anyway.
Sure. I mean, you would if they paid you to, paint the church.
Well, if you did something like that, if you had to do some electrical work.
Plumbing.
Plumbing, anything like that, then yes, you should. Unless you want to throw it in with the tithing. I'm sure some people might do that.
They might.
If you ain't got the money to put in the basket, maybe
you
offer to do favors. You do have to eat. You do. Most of these churches look like they're doing all right to me, though. I'm just saying.
Well, that's really interesting sponsor, Jackie. It really just goes to prove how much you love Satan and
what?
His infernal darkness.
No, what the hell are you
and
talking
Gladdy
about?
must be regular devil worshippers over there.
No,
like
we're not. That's
episode of Sabrina or some shit.
Exact opposite. We're trying to get people to get to the good book, trying to get the Lord in people's hearts.
Why would you make all the churches in Murfreesboro stink?
That's what people like these days.
What makes you say that? Nobody wants to go to a stink-ass church.
Ain't no skunk sickle walk around. You can't go. I got to wear a clothespin. What? A skunk sickle. You know damn well what the hell I'm talking about.
Oh, I remember skunk sickles. And
how could you forget?
They were Jesus sickles, and then Dottie Harp my sponsor this week wanted me to let everybody know that she's closed all the skunk sickles. She's going back to school in Colorado.
What?
She moved to Colorado to go get her degree.
What degree? What?
All the skunk sickles locations are now Mrs. Chickens.
What?
And all the churches, apparently, are overrun by skunks ready to mate because you trying to outstink skunk sickles with your blasphemous spit in the face of Jesus Christ on the cross at his most hurt. Name a moment when Jesus was more hurt than when he was on the cross. And that's when you come and attack him and make everything in his house
attack
stink?
anything.
In the church is his house, and you come and make it stink like a skunk
All
ass?
the people wanted it to stink in there. They said they like
Who,
it
the
stinking
people
on
at
the
Mrs.
outside.
Chicken's trying to eat a chicken dinner, and you've got somebody opens a church door to go in and pray, and they get knocked over by the smell? That's blasphemy via nose.
Blasphemy.
That's nose blasphemy.
Last week it was blasphemy. Now that it's in churches, now it's even more blasphemy, right? Is that what you're saying? Everything's blasphemy to you.
Well, I mean, when a devil worshiper like you does it, it's blasphemy.
Mouth. Shut your damn mouth.
It's just a shame. I really thought, you're setting a...
You're a damn shame. What the hell are you talking about? Shut your mouth.
And also, no offense, but you reek.
Huh?
You smell like skunk.
Everybody smells like it. It's in the damn air. It's in the water.
Now you must have
drink.
spilled some
everywhere.
on you. It ain't like that
anymore.
anymore.
Nothing on me. I just said I ain't the one that, goes to church every Wednesday, Sunday, or anything like that.
It smells like you was filling up bottles to spray on a popsicle.
Well, I figured if I'm going to give a suggestion and he likes, I should at least lend a hand or two. So, yeah, I lended a hand. I helped make a few pew sickles, and they stink. They do. That's what people like. If you think a skunk sickle stinks or a Jesus sickle stinks, don't stink nothing like a pew sickle.
Yeah,
worst smelling thing ever. And yeah, there may be a few.
Right.
There may be a few skunks overtaking some of these churches, or out in the getting up underneath the floorboard, that sort of thing. Yes, there are. But if you love things to stink, then it's going to stink that much more with all the skunks around. So get down to the stinkiest church you ever been to. Praise God in there. Eat you a stinky pew sickle and smell the skunks underneath.
Man, you gotta keep with the times,
Well,
man. That's old news. Nobody likes stink. Nobody wants Jesus to stink.
Hell,
That's crazy talk.
You're the one that said it last
You're
week.
not- I would not want to be you when I get to heaven, standing in front of St. Peter in the Book of Judgment. I'd rather be Martin Scorsese making Last Temptation of Christ than you.
What?
He'd have a better shot at getting in there.
Look, back in Jesus' days, they didn't have deodorant or soap or things, not like today. So more than likely, most of those men, they're fishermen. They smell like fish. They're sweating from walking all over the desert and everywhere. So if you don't like stink, then maybe you don't like a gospel.
It's good you weren't called to preach. What the preacher talk about this Sunday? Oh, he spent about an hour and a half talking about how much Jesus stunk. He said, they all did. Don't get mad at Jesus. He stunk. Maybe he stunk more because he was so holy. That's devil talk.
What is devil talk?
Devil. You got devil in you and stink on
letting
you.
you know what it was like back then for people that don't know.
We're done with skunk sickles, right?
Huh?
Are we done with skunk sickles?
I hope to God we are.
Now's the time that we both have to go.
all of them are Mrs. Chickens. Every one of them.
I think they all Miss Chickens. Miss Chickens just swooped in and bought it.
Did they fumigate the place before they switch it over to Mrs.
They
Chickens?
just threw a window open.
Well, I mean, I love Mrs. Chickens. Actually, they get a good 4-piece dinner and they got a good 2-piece dinner, depending on,
I like a sandwich.
The sandwich is good too. Mrs. Chicken sandwiches is good. I like them. I'm all for replacing, them with that.
They got smooth and easy sandwich, Sichuan hot and Nashville hot.
Oh, no, I like Nashville. I like both kinds of hots if it's hot. I mean, not every time I go, like hot every now and then.
Well, then you get smooth and easy.
Smooth and easy. Well, that sounds good. Mrs. Chicken smooth and easy sandwich?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'll do that. A good suggestion, whatever. I'm glad she went to go get, diploma, whatever the hell it is. Good for her. I like Mrs. Chickens.